Hi, I'm Ron Timmermans, one of the many hosts with the Florida Aviation Network. Today we're broadcasting live and in the clear from EA or AirVenture 2023 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. What a beautiful day it is here today. We're going to have an air show in a few minutes, but before then, I want to interview one of my special friends, Mr. Adrian Eichhorn. Adrian, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you very much, Ron. It's great to be here. So much energy, so many people, so many great things happen in aviation, and it's all right here.
Indeed. I'm sensing, Adrian, that this is not your first time to Oshkosh. Is that true?
No, sir, Ron. It's year 34, and it's the 30th year since I purchased this airplane. And, yep.
And this airplane, by the way, I want you to know, is a Grand Champion airplane. It has been through the competition with other airplanes here. The judges have looked at it, found it to be meticulously maintained and restored and customized. And so the category is classic,
Contemporary Custom Division. It's for aircraft that were manufactured between 1956 and 1970. And this year, I think they had a little over 190 airplanes in the contemporary class that were competing.
And so this is number one out of 190. So, wow, a 1962 P-35 Bonanza, and you've owned it for how many years now?
Well, since 1991, so quite a while. Was that 32 years?
Yeah, something like that's great. And let's see, you've probably done one or two things to customize it. Can you just give us a quick synopsis of what you've done for customization?
Sure, Ron. In terms of restoration, we took the wings off, reskinned the top, reskinned the belly, reskinned a lot of the wings. With respect to modification, it has an IO 550, a 300-horse engine, which replaced the stock 260 horse, which I added and allowed me better performance when I was doing the round the world and the North Pole trip because of the weight with extra fuel. The large gas tanks were on a field approval, so it's not experimental class. They can hold 100 gallons, but I can't put that much, limited to weight, and a special flight permit determines how much. Complete panel, large baggage door conversion, avionics, and a host of other things. I think there's probably about 20 337s documenting all the major alterations that are on the airplane.
Adrian, that must have cost you a fortune. Who did you have do all this stuff?
Well, I did it myself, and I'm proud of that because I could never afford this if I had to take it to a shop and pay a mechanic, because I like to joke that I've restored 3 Bonanzas and not one, because I think everything on this airplane, I did it the first time, didn't really like it, did it the second time, well, that's better, but let's do it a third time, and then it's perfect. So lots of hours, Ron. Thousands and thousands of hours.
I know about some of them, but I can't imagine how many it has been. So Adrian is, in fact, an AMT IA and has been one for about the 30 years that he's owned this airplane. And not only is he an AMT, but a few years ago he was named as the National AMT of the Year. And 10 or more years before that, he was named as the National FAASTeam Representative of the Year. So Adrian is a winner all around, both in what he does for aviation and now what his airplane does for aviation and as well. Prior to this award in 2023, this airplane won the Reserve Grand Champion. How long ago?
2018, it was a Silver Lindy. So
yeah, the second most prized award. But this year, tonight, he will be awarded the Grand Champion Prize, the Gold Lindy Award, and I, for one, am very proud of you, Adrian. This is just great. This is just great. So, tell us a little bit about the airplane. Oh, wait a minute. Did you say you flew this airplane around the world?
I did, Captain Ron.
Holy cow!
20-day trip, 26,000 miles. One thing I learned off that trip is there's a lot of water in this world, and when you get to Manila, you still got about 8,000 miles to get to the States, and it's all water. So I did.
Indeed. I remember you said the longest trek on that round-the-world journey, longest trek over water, was your last one from Honolulu to Oakland, right?
Yeah, sure was. That was 17 hours, and it was, I love long-distance flying, and it was a trip that seems like a long time, but because of fear, you never are going to fall asleep with one engine, one radio, and managing your fuel situation and your position with position reports and abnormal reports. So yeah, 17 hours, about 6 hours at night over the Atlantic, and that's when you kind of shake your head and think, what am I doing out here? And you're really listening to the engine.
Indeed, I'm sure you are. So an adventurer, Adrian Eichhorn. So 17-hour that flight from Honolulu to Oakland, where could you possibly go where it would take longer flight than 17 hours?
Well, you could go up to Iceland, circle the North Pole, and go down to Fairbanks, and that's right around 20-hour trip. So
Who the hell would do that?
I don't know, somebody that's an adventurer. So
And Adrian did that in 2021.
Yep.
He circled the North Pole. I watched him on FlightAware go north, 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 and I was watching the latitude go from 80 to 82 to 89, 89 and a half, 89.9. Finally, it was at 90 degrees north latitude, and I see him do a little pirouette on FlightAware, and sure enough, he circled the North Pole, waved to Santa Claus, right?
I didn't see him.
Oh, you didn't see him, okay, but he would have, and he would probably wave back.
Yeah.
And then you headed south from there, right? Towards Fairbanks?
Yeah, I think up at that point I could say I went south because it's the only way I can go, but a little bit of a challenge navigating up there because I didn't realize that magnetic north was still in front of me on the way to Fairbanks. So the airplane says I'm flying north when I'm tracking south because the magnetometer is pointing to the, so whole interesting story about it. But it was a challenge, and thank God with an iPad and satellite, I flew in track mode for about 6 hours to get going down towards Anchorage. But yeah, it was
Fairbanks.
I'm sorry, Fairbanks. Yeah, I think of everything I've done in aviation, that was, without question, the most challenging and the coolest.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Well, Adrian, I'm glad, we're all glad that you made it back from those two harrowing adventures, and this is great. So, Adrian Eichhorn, both a national CFI, national AMT and a national FAASTeam Rep of the Year, a reserve grand champion owner of the airplane, and now a grand champion owner of the airplane. I couldn't be prouder of you, my friend. This is great news, and thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you, Ron. It's an honor, and it's great being at Oshkosh. I've been coming here. This is year 34, and learned a lot about airplanes, but I've learned even more about people, and it's the fellowship of airmen that just makes us coming back every year.
Indeed, and I know this is a tough subject for you, but when you first started coming here, I was here with you and your dad, and I got to meet your dad, and he's a wonderful person, now deceased, and he was also an aviator, an Army aviator, and World War II and the Korean War, and a great source of inspiration for Adrian, as you can imagine. And so I know he is looking down on you and really smiling tonight as you get this great award. Again, Adrian, thank you so much. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Captain Ron. It's great, and I appreciate the interview, and good luck to all you guys.
Okay, I'm Ron Timmermans for the Florida Aviation Network, broadcasting live and in the clear from the grounds at Oshkosh 2023. Stay tuned for more videos from the Florida Aviation Network on our YouTube channel. Thank you.